Then I found out is buying old iron, old battery buying. That is part of your industry?
Yes, because these are the people who bring the material into our yards.
Prior to you all getting involved as a scrap iron collective, all of the people who involved in, I want to use the word scavenging, tell me if they have a better word that you want to use. Scavenging the metal that not being used, that no longer being used. What they used to do with it, they used to sell it to ISPAT?
Yeah, we never used to export no material.
You used to sell it to ISPAT before they shut down ISPAT?
Yes,
So when they shut down ISPAT, they shut you all down?
Well, we still survive because we had people.
You all had already started?
We had started to invite people.
Export? You all had started to export already?
No. We started to invite people to come to Trinidad that we could able to sell our material to them. Well, you understand what I'm saying? And then we started to look for contract. Now, our organization is an international organization. You know, our organization is recognized all over the world because we just sell to different plants in China, in India, in Bangladesh, in Turkey. We internationally. So when they shut down this industry, where we Trinidad need to understand too. I don't want to go over, but I don't want to miss it. It's also the Caribbean you shut down too, you know. Well, a lot of people missing this, you know.
Yeah, but before you go there, I want to ask you something, but I want to just say this. If the people wasn't cutting the copper wire, anybody would have interfered with you?
No, well...
If people wasn't climbing up on the lamppost and cutting down the copper cable, was anybody interfering with you before?
No.
So the copper cable thing become a thing?
Yes,
and that dragged on for so long that people couldn't come to a conclusion. You couldn't tell your members, we not buying or selling copper because what they're doing going to bring heat? Or they didn't see that heat was going to come?
No. Well, because you see, I'll tell you something. That is the misconception that Trinidad and Tobago have and they don't understand. Before this started to happen, I approached TSTT. I have documents to show you.
To take down the copper?
We had asked them to partner with them. Yes, but listen to me. We had to understand that the copper will be, these are copper that they rejected, meaning that they're supposed to pull it down.
Yeah. All of a sudden, out of the blue.
Yes.
Out of the blue.
Yes.
People all through this country start cutting down copper. You was going to ask that question.
Yeah. And what we need to understand, we approached TSCT and we told them that...
You gave you all permission to start cutting down copper?
No, we had
no...
No, listen to me. What I'm saying is that we have no evidence that the scrap industry is the people who was cutting down.
So where's the copper going when they cut it down?
Well, that is it because we have a few set of yards, a few set of people.
That you know?
Well, probably I might have
a... Because Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacobs both have said that they know where the illegal guns come in and how it passing. Both Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacobs. Wait, I'm saying this to you. I live in a country where it's easy to talk a crocus bag of ass.
Yes.
I'm saying to you, if you know who have the copper, does the police know?
Well, the police have to know. So because I will explain to you.
Police have to know because Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacobs, both of them knew where the guns passing to come to the country. They know which doorway, they know which organization, they know where it passing, and they never stop it.
No.
Right. So if the...
Well, let me talk.
No, but let
me talk solution. Just now, let me talk solutions, right? I just want that. Now the Scrap Iron Association is an association of all scrap iron dealers, right? So, in itself, you have a whole set of dealers dealing in scrap iron. You may have or may not have control over them, right? And it's part of an informal economy, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Because you're not registered as I mean, people in Trinidad, what I'm trying to ask is, if you ask a normal Trinidadian, what is the value of scrap iron people, scrap iron association or scrap iron dealers, they will tell you they don't know. I mean, that they are nothing to us. I mean, but in truth and in fact, you are creating a service, you are doing a service, that removing iron, scrap iron and that kind of thing from around and the society and that kind of thing to make things...
They provide an essential service.
Right.
They provide... the point I was making just now and the point I want him to answer me is this, because I want him to say for Trinidad to hear, because the government using the police to shut them down in everything. why the government using the police didn't go after the yards that had the copper.
He can answer that question.
But he knows who
No, but you see, I will tell you
He's the
something.
head.
We sit down with the commissioner of police. We sit down with them and we say, listen to me. We and TSTT and the police work in 2013. And we was able to, you see, people will see copper wire hanging down on the ground and nobody wants to go close to it. The reason for that is that we had tell the police, listen to me, we having problem with people going and steal copper. Raise the yards.
So when I said,
That 1 yard was
so
raised.
you told the police when the yards was? Because I want to tell you this. I have some...
No, but I had to protect myself too, you know.
Man,
but to me,
I have some extra barrels. I will protect you. I have some extra barrels. Mark Phillip will fix it on it. I want to go and put those barrels in those yards. Because short man sitting and go find himself there to pick up the barrels. He can take up the copper one time.
But
He can take the copper one time.
Easy
So
man.
you're saying in
what I'm
2013,
saying is,
in 2013, no yards were raided by the police?
No.
Even
in
though
2013,
you all said, listen,
the yard started to raid. It
Show
was
him where it
raiding
was
the yard.
This
That
is-
is why we shut. That is why nobody wasn't thieving copper. Nobody wasn't thieving
But
things.
brother.
We worked with the authority at that time to make sure that nobody wasn't stealing copper.
let me ask you a question.
Why you say that?
The copper that are stolen, let me move away from the iron ore, the copper that are stolen, where's the market for that in Trinidad?
No, we don't. All right. We don't have a market now in Trinidad because remember they shut down the
So
steel
just
plant.
now, so the copper is sold abroad.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
exported.
So
yes.
right, so you're saying that if the copper is exported, it is exported from Trinidad in a container or something,
Yes,
and has to
yes.
go through the ports, the recognized
The two
ports
ports,
for
yes,
that.
yeah.
So why shut down the Scrap Iron
So the scanners not
Association?
if customs and the police
the scanners
do their
not
work,
If they know how the copper getting out of the country?
And you were
Scanners not
shocked-
working.
you
How
were
you
shocked to
finding the
know-
copper?
You were shocked to know it's only about 7 people is export copper out of Trinidad. Out of this whole industry.
So it's only 7?
Only 7. And that's why we went
There's a
and
handful
tell
of
them,
people.
if you ban the copper, or it is because we told them, let me tell you what
They
happened.
ban copper
All
export
right,
to
listen
solve
to
the
me
problem.
now. A container
You
copper.
You can't be just so.
A
What is
container
right,
of copper,
what is
wait.
right on the
I
manifest?
just I
when
want
you're
to write-
shipping scrap iron, what is right on the manifest for the boat?
Oh, that's why I want to come to. A container of copper leave from a yard and go on to Point Lisa. The documents are scrapped as oh God, I forget what it's called. The documents have scrap iron.
The manifest.
When
Bill of lading.
yeah. When the container went through the scanner, the people in the port would have seen it's copper and not scrap iron. You know what they do? They send back that copper to the copper to the yard, you know, nobody ask, nobody no question. What I'm trying to tell you, because somebody knows somebody. And what they're doing now, they're blaming we, because them is not doing the work.
Because you let them.
No.
You let them, and you know the whole thing. I tell you, what you call me. I tell you, I will help you know. Basically, normal bullshit, nonsense, burn tire, formatting, make a batch, get the media, CNC trees, or something, can sell some papers. Only do that shit.
No, you
I'm
can't say all
telling
you.
you.
Don't put me in that now, please. Don't put me in
Boss
that.
man, I'm telling you, all you deal with it wrong.
No.
I wanna take all the iron and drop it by Rowley office.
Nice.
Telling you clean it up. It's still not a clean up. You think Ronald Milford in solid waste know what to do with the iron and them boys pulling out of there? He ain't know nothing about that. He's our next political bench warmer. You understand?
So-
but what has happened to the scrap iron dealers in this, traders in this country? What has happened to you all is an insult to decency and an assault on poverty.
yeah.
You all have sat idly by, and now you have media saying that a container of cocaine was found amid the scrap iron. And I watching the bunch of sufferers, and don't take it wrong that make up your
No, but that was a
industry.
2018 article,
Oh,
eh?
you could
No,
make-
that's where we
That's
need
a-
to.
that's a 2018
that's why I
story.
straight on this
You
one.
getting 35 million
It was
of
a
cocaine.
Oh.
2018 story that
It-
no,
But-
listen.
but
Somebody started, you know propaganda that's going in the country. So based on their actions or protests and what going on in their industry, somebody found the article from 2018 and started to share it on social media now. So that people go say, you see why the government have a right to shut them down?
Yeah.
Because look at there, look
Roll
at
a
it's not only
ballot
scrap
right
iron,
and
you
roll the
know.
ball.
So that's how the game is played.
But listen, I would have preferred if we don't
Hello.
song too political in terms of trying to politicize
David.
this issue.
No,
Because listen, let me say what I'm saying. People's lives at risk in this.
Of course.
You have people who are, just now, you have people who are unemployed. And what I want to know from these people is, let us talk about, because I heard, I don't know much about the whole scrap iron dealers and how they make the money and that kind of thing, but I'm here to find out today. What is important really is that you all would have said that a lot of people are out of work, right? And I would have heard a couple of ministers say that they could access certain social services and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to find out is, because this is a part of the informal sector, how much people are out of work and how they are out of work by the government
stopping the export.
Yeah. How they become out of work, how they make the money.
No, well, listen to me, right? We hearing people talking foolishness. If some people say we could still go ahead and buy, because they ain't stop the buying, they ain't stopping the purchasing, meaning that you could go and buy material. But any business, if I buying soft drinks or I buying food to sell, and I'm not selling it, what sense I going and buy it and that making any bring?
Unless you're stockpiling and you have
your pocket well deep. Because they have about 3 of them that the pocket deep, because some of them is P&M. Some of them in industry is P&M, so they pocket deep. Now I not know, I want to make it clear, I have no problem with no politician, but I am not a politician. Alright? I have absolutely
no friend, no nobody.
This is the stupidness people is talking.
No, you see, I will tell you why.
No, I want to say something.
Before I finish talking, you see, that's our problem in Trinidad, you know. Sometimes you hear somebody talk, and I ain't finished, but you're ready to jump on
Go, talk.
If I say big, and you don't know, I might be saying a big man, and you might believe it's some other thing. We have to wait. The whole thing about it is that the reason why I will not, the whole thing about Trinidad is that if you use a PNM, you are UNC, you use whatever party you is, I can't remember right now.
PEP.
What I'm trying to say is that you must sing me, because a certain thing, because how we culture
you, you know. We bring you on this show out of respect for you and the people who make up your organization. Yes. But I am not going to sit here and let people continue, and it is not.
No, you could do that because you're a politician. I have no problem with you.
But you are
knocking out.
But politics knocked you out. Politics knocked you out.
Yes.
So how you not going to respond politically?
Hold on.
But I was going to ask.
Okay, hold on. Matterson asks about the industry and how much people on the breadline, right? How much the industry does generate? How much revenue?
It's more than 48 million US per year.
All right.
48 million US a year.
And
what you need to know, right? Let me tell you something, eh? You know that money just trickle along to the poor. It's not like that, because let me explain to you. I have a yard, I have a scrap yard.
Right.
And my markup is about 400 Trinidad dollars, right? Sometimes I just have to make it less. Now these fellas will go out on the street and somebody might give them some of the material, and they will come in our yard and get 1,500, 1,800 for a ton of material, and where they ain't spend a cent doing. But I know how to buy that from them for that, and then sell it over for 2,200.
Is the material going China?
No, that is a thing that Trinidad have misconception.
Is it going China?
No scrap material.
What's the biggest
Does China want it?
Oh gosh, wait please. No scrap material is leave here and go China. That is a miss. Only thing that's go China from here is copper, aluminum, and brass and all them things. No scrap iron. The money that we have to pay in tax to send material to China is like we gonna be lost in about 50%. Right? So because of China, how they raise the taxes and all them sort of thing, and I would the war between them and the US. That from since when Trump was there. So we don't sell no scrap to China.
So Stephen Matterson said something just now, and I want to say to you that I've been saying this from the start. Copper have a color. Copper is not I said early o'clock. Only playing with me, the police, I talk about the police, I talk about the government, only playing with me. Copper is not an easy thing to thief. You have to go up on a lamp post to cut down copper. You have to pull that away and transport that. Copper is a heavy thing. You have to burn that covering off to get to the copper. You could follow the smoke, you can follow the van, but you know what you're getting people who living in their house calling the police and say, I'm watching them outside my house right now cutting copper, and the police say, well, die now, we business. Police not interested.
But cut right in front of police station.
Police not interested.
No, but it cut right in front of
police
station.
Not interested in going after people cutting copper.
But if I get the opportunity to explain to you all a lot about what take place in this whole thing, I think Trinidad will have a good understanding. You see, I am here, and I'm here to not to row with all you. I am here to give Trinidad and Tobago a good understanding of what take place. The understanding of what take place is that you want to blame us for people thieving, but nobody understand what we as an association would do before all this thing take place. And because you can't handle it and you can't deal with it, you're starting to blame me. You understand what I'm saying? The whole thing about it is that we had made all these steps. It's 11 years we working to fix the same problem, you know. The problem that them have now is a problem that they had in 2011. We would have sit down with all the stakeholders. I ain't talking about but the Ministry of Trade, the AMA, the Ministry of Works, the intelligence of the police branch. We would have sit down with all of them and we would have say thief and copper, because thief and copper is not now. All of that would have been in the proposal. When the UNC would have leave in 2015, we have finished the whole proposal to go to Parliament to amend.
Let me ask you something, because really and truly the people who listening want to know a couple of things. You just said that the industries are 48 million US dollars a year, right? Industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how much people make up the industry so?
More than 20,000.
20,000. So you were saying that 20,000 people are on the breadline today for a period of about 6 months?
About 6 months, yeah.
On the breadline. Was any consultation had with you all before that decision was made?
The only thing that we had, let me explain to you. When the Prime Minister made the announcement, we asked him for a meeting immediately. The Prime Minister immediately put
before they did that, did they talk to you?
Yeah. No, it's not about shutting down the industry. This government, and you're making me sound like I had to sound like a politician.
You gotta say it.
Yes, what I say is that this government never make no effort in 7 years to straighten out this industry. When the UNC was in power from 2010 to 2015, we had about 100 and something meetings with them because we work high and tirely to try to straighten out this industry. When the proposal come to the PNM time, they forget about it. They want to change it.
So what's stopping it? So that was to regularize the industry.
Yes,
but I want to ask a question. Why is it taking so long for them to come to a policy governing an industry that is essential to the country?
20,000 people on the breadline.
I don't think he could answer that.
I can't answer that, right? But what I could tell you.
No, but you would have gotten some feedback.
Listen to me, man. Let me tell you something, Anos.
You had
2 months ago.
You had 140 meetings with people. You must have gotten some kind of feedback.
You
must have get some letter that says further to our conversation.
No, if you go up on the ministry website,
Boss
you
man,
would have seen everything.
Point I blaming you, eh?
Nah.
I want you to hear me at no point. At no point I blaming you. At no point I blaming the people who work in the industry. But this is what I'm blaming you for. This is what I'm blaming you for.
Tell me.
And like I blame every other Trinbagonian.
Why?
Because we too damn irresponsible with our country. And we watch people in government.
I don't think you know me. Brother, and if you know my actions, let me tell you, I just put my money where my mouth is, you know. Since this thing started, money I would have put in my mouth and don't ask nobody for the money. I would have spent more than $1,300,000 just to try to fix this problem. You know why I would have tried to fix this problem? Let me tell you something if you don't know. And I'm telling Trinidad and Tobago. When you see people go places like Singapore, you know what they just tell us? We supposed to be leaders in this region. When we sit down with people, I'm talking about all over the world, you know. All you're missing, understand? Me, myself, let me tell you something. I, as myself, people in Europe, they have the magazine, the whole of Europe and all about this watch about recycling. You know what they have me? They have me in the center page, 2 pages you give me. You know why they say? This is a boy from in Trinidad and Tobago who understands the recycling thing. They have me as a leader. You know what I'm trying to tell you? What I am saying is because Trinidadians don't even accept their own.
Forget that. We have to watch Simon Cowell praise Olatunji. Remember that? When Simon praised Olatunji.
Before recognize Olatunji.
Remember? You remember that?
Let me ask you something. Leading up to
I
this.
use my whole Olatunji reference to say.
All right, go ahead. The segue.
No, take me.
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Leading up to this entire
Why
decision.
I know got something
You're
to drink
getting
the
punch it, that's
rum
punch
shop.
it.
I the rum shop and
That's punch it.
This
That's
punching.
0.2%.
Oh God, first time I'm going to drink punching, but I'm going to
Nice.
take a little thing.
No.
I'm going to take a little thing.
We talking it real here, right? Because that, there's all kind of rumors spreading. Leading up to this whole decision, you would know, as a man in the industry, because everybody does know what's going on in the industry.
Correct.
If it has somebody trying to come through a back door,
Correct.
to take away the industry.
Your
from you.
48 million US.
It's 48. That is a 350
That's a 1%
million
sounding
TT dollar
number.
a year industry. Have you heard or do you know of any move that anybody trying to make to shaft all you as the association currently and take over the industry?
So you really think this is about shutting down the industry to
No,
fix
but I
it?
know it's not.
No, he didn't say that.
I
He
know
didn't
it's
say
not.
he didn't.
No,
But we have to
what's
get
saying
to the
start
bottom.
over? What's telling you?
No, but there's a real
Everybody
politician.
know.
Everybody
Let me get to
He
the, let me get
started
to one time.
Yes. I answer it in a way, yes, and I go explain it to you.
Explain it.
You know when they want to shut down something. Because this industry, if they wanted to do something, they would have listened to us. We is the people with the knowledge. We is the people who understand it. I went to them personally and tell them, please, let me shut down the copper apartheid, leave the other thing.
And what they said?
Stop the export of copper.
What they
Yes.
said when you went to them? Who is them?
The Minister of Trade, the
Go be
Minister
school.
of
Go be
National
school.
Security,
Heinz.
the
Heinz.
AG, and the Minister of Energy.
Which one is
Which one of the
Ammo
AGs?
or
Someone
Larry?
Ammo?
Ammo.
And you
All right.
spoke to them. So this is when things start to heat up because Ammo has just come.
Yeah.
So this is when things start to heat up. You make them a proposal.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a question. Because we had a copper man on the show, somebody, we talked about this before. And I asked, how is like somebody say, ready, set, go? Because copper just started cut. I've been.
Just so.
I
it
been
was-
Maruga.
They ain't do
What
nothing.
mean? No, but I said, I
So all our copper here still. So ready to shut down the
No. Please. You hear what I just said?
please, Mr. Matheson, please.
I just tell you that copper, remember Paul Spain port?
So
Mr.
copper
I
still
walk
leaving.
in there.
Say copper still leaving the country.
No. Before, man, it's not now.
All right, but all the copper that been cutting and they're still cutting, right?
They're still cutting?
Well, I suppose. I know about 3 weeks ago they was cutting copper.
You say them they could buy.
But what
You
I'm
just
saying
can't
is,
sell.
all those copper, by the time they melt away the plastic or whatever and the copper, how is that copper going? Are they banning the export of copper from Trinidad
No,
to
well,
solve that problem?
No. You see, if they're saying that ban the copper now, yes, all copper, everything ban. You can't export nothing. Nothing that
No
you can
scrapper,
export.
no copper,
No copper, nothing. You can't ban nothing. It will be very easy for them if they try to fix the scanner in the port. So you will be able to see what's coming. Because what people does is that they will put a different document, because everybody in Trinidad know everybody. They will put a document that say that I come in with scrap. And they leave with copper. You understand what I'm saying? And then they have the original documents to hit the people of them outside of Trinidad. You understand what I'm saying? Because they only could do that for Trinidad by the port, because they have a friend and they have somebody. What I'm trying to
So
get
you're
to,
saying that there are documents in Trinidad's port that are fraudulent as to the contents of the shipping container.
Yeah.
But wherever you land in, if it is a first world country, fraudulent documents won't do. So you have to have real authentic documents saying this is a container of copper. Who stamped that?
well, who had to stamp it? It's only custom could stamp that. But you know, you live here.
I know. I want to hear you say.
on.
I want to hear you say, because tell you what, I say into the camera, I don't trust any senior office holder in this country anymore. I have seen enough. I understand enough. It is too easy to take people like this gentleman and hang him out to dry. They know who thieving the copper, they know who collecting the copper, they know who shipping the copper, and they know where it's going.
And
But they use that. I want to finish. I waste my whole segue. I want to finish.
Go ahead.
And I'll do it calmer.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No, but seriously, you are being used, sir. You are being used by multiples of sides. You are being used. And when they finish use you, somebody walking away with a 48 million US dollar industry.
Hey.
And they will sanitize it.
Plenty people tell me don't say this. And a lot of people is telling me don't say it, but under my dead body. You hear what I'm telling you? You believe I is one of them Trinidadians. There's a lot of things to happen.
No, stick
up it.
Yeah,
let me tell you something.
You're careful where you go.
Let me tell you something. I am telling you that if Trinidad have a strong personality person, you're talking to one now.
I believe that.
Yes.
I could see that.
Because to rule this industry, let me tell you something.
Let me talk.
That's what you have to deal with. You have to deal with criminals. You have to deal with people who like to backstab people. You have to deal with people who like to uncut and talk bad.
Bossman, Goodwood Park, Fairway, Sinclair, Gulfview and Valsane, bill on cocaine and laundering money. You think you is criminal? Them know how to deal with criminal.
Yes.
Them know how to deal with criminal. So I nothing to be afraid of. And I'm telling you this. Trinidad is a country where the Prime Minister said in 2017 that there are 37,000 illegal guns in the country. I want to know who did the stock check. How he get that number. How he know. I hear 2 commissioners of police, and I'm telling you this. I hear 2 commissioners of police throw customs under the bus. I ain't hear customs saying nothing. I ain't hear customs saying nothing. But it coming to the port, it coming to the authentic port and containers. So if guns and cocaine coming to the authentic, legitimate port of entry, normal. Where's copper to leave?
Yeah.
Where's copper to leave? If Gary could say it, and McDonald Jacob could say it, and the controller of customs is saying nothing yet.
And in 2019.
And the Minister of National Security is saying nothing yet. And the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is saying nothing yet. You're telling me, you think that this is some joke? What we're talking here today is so that Trinidadians tell me, Phillip, you know, you just say some things there. I just think it, but I'm afraid to say it. You just say it. Trinidad is a corrupt country. It is a corrupt country. They're using the legitimacy of law to shut you down so corruption and criminality could take place. We have to face the facts and face the music that we've played African Indian politics for years to allow a corrupt few to run away with everything in this country. Segue.
Let me just ask you something. All these cable wire that they cutting now, you say that you all had a meeting to partner, right? To partner with them to take down these obsolete wires, right? Let me ask you something. Rough estimate. How much that would?
Well, we take a kind of, we use the estimate. Not a 100%
approximate, yeah. Just approximately. How much all that couple,
we for the whole of Trinidad, we had get a investor where we would offer them $10 million US so to pull down the copper, to take the copper. 10 million US. And we have documents showing that we meet with the management at TSC.
But it might have worth more than $1 billion.
No.
You offer them, no, he said 10 million US.
You offer them 10 million US.
Yeah.
But I worth more than $1 billion.
Wait, hold on. Who offered them 10 million US?
We, the association.
The association?
Yes.
They had an investor.
Right. That's why I tell all in Trinidad and Tobago, some people don't understand it. We have documents. We have sit down with the management at TSCT, you know.
But it worth more than 10 million US.
No, you need to know why we offer them 10 million.
Right.
We will be paying all some of their contractors to work with us. We will be spending all the money to mobilize and do everything.
Right.
They will not have to spend a cent.
They went from being scrap iron hustlers to being a proper industry.
Yeah. That's not regulated.
But not regulated.
So
put everything in place to be regulated.
So really and truly you're seeking to deal in copper?
No, well, we recognize that TSCT have a lot of, when you do a
the price of copper right now is obscene.
The copper price at that time, and then the copper price when it was, the reason why the copper, a lot of people started thief it and all because the copper price was
It's the same reason oil and gas has leave the country and then it is stopped by some sections and is ship it to something else and everybody has to make a money.
Yeah.
There's a reason when we buying boat from the when we buying Coast Guard boat, we had to buy it through 3 different organizations, so everybody can make a money. What you asking here, and there is a what Stephan was trying to get at for the listening audience is an actual estimate value
of
based
all
on copper prices. How much tons of copper you think there is there hanging from those lampposts that are not in use, and what it worth?
No, well, I don't think.
Right.
About 5 billion.
So let me.
No.
So what's happening, right? Is that you would have made a proposal to TSCT to move the copper.
Yeah.
$10 million, right?
Yeah.
What the message would have been sent to the government from that is that you either dealing in copper or you want to deal in copper.
No, well,
and therefore, the escalation of the removal of albeit useless copper is creating a problem.
Yes.
Right? It's creating a problem for the people who are trying to move it because they could get killed. And it's creating a problem for the burgesses, the people in the communities that you're moving it. And it also creating criminal activity. So the government now is focusing on you because you are the one who seem to have the mandate for metal. If there are no copper dealers association, if there are scrap iron dealers association. So they are focusing on you now because you are the one who now not only dealing in metal, but you also put a proposal. So it look like you're dealing in copper too, or you're seeking to deal in copper. You put a proposal to them. So it stands to reason why the government will now focus on you, albeit a stupid reason, because really and truly you could have solved this problem very easily.
Reason behind the
right?
makes no sense.
With copper, because you could have just stopped the exportation of copper.
We told them that.
Solve that problem.
That was suggested to them.
Mr. Patterson, if I may.
Suggested early
They suggested that they ban the export of copper,
but if I may,
let the scrap iron business continue.
It is not just copper. There's a reason why when you're walking down the pavement, they have these big slab of concrete over the hole that used to have a metal manhole cover.
Yeah, it's the manhole
There's slab of concrete. They're saying that they have yards that have, I just put in the information that I get in, right? They say they have yards that have brand new drill pipe and all kind of I-beam and thing that not supposed to be there, that fellas just passing like parasite and picking up everything. But my question is this: steel and metal is not an easy thing to hide.
Or move.
So why didn't he use a word regulate? That is a powerful word. They could have licensed dealers. You could have been a licensed.
No, we is licensed dealers.
Licensed dealers under the Ministry of Trade.
No, we doesn't have to go to the Ministry of Trade for our license. We just have to go to the court to get our license. No, that is where we recommend. No, we recommend that you go to the license to the Ministry of Trade.
But you should be. So I want to finish this.
So you're going to the court to get a license?
Yeah, we just go
Stick
to
up
the court every year.
Like a liquor license?
Just like a liquor license?
Yeah. That's the Act in
50 million.
So you come in under the control of Customs and Excise.
If you have a
your industry coming under the control of Customs and Excise.
Yes.
You are not under the Minister of Trade.
No, we is under the Minister.
You cannot be under the Minister of Trade if you are being licensed by the control of Customs and Excise.
No, there's some license. All right, if you want to, that is, you see, sometimes if I'm talking and I can't get through it, people wouldn't understand me.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that copper, aluminum, brass, you have to go to the Ministry of Trade to get your license. So you must export it. But you have to go to the court to get a license overall, because if you don't have a license, you can't also get the license to export the copper.
Okay, right. So now you tell me I have two licenses. This is what I want to say. Yes. So you have a license, so they know who you are and where you located, yes?
Yes.
So they could, because I was coming to a point.
Database?
But I was coming to a point.
Yeah.
Plenty of people don't know this, right? In Trinidad and Tobago, and I want to make this whole point, alcohol is not legal, you know. It is decriminalized.
And if I get Trinidad,
no, I want to finish my whole story. You can tell them yours.
Yeah.
When you say something is decriminalized, you could have alcohol, but you have to have a license to have alcohol. Anything above 1.8 liters, that used to be the law, I don't know what's the law now. When you import alcohol, for you to change hands with alcohol, the person who have the alcohol has to have a dealer's license so he can write you a permit. so that the police could come and stock check the alcohol, see the permit, write it off in a book, scratch your license. You ever knew this? Every single person.
The same thing they do in the scrapyard.
The same thing they do in scrapyard.
Yeah, they come and check the books.
They come and check the books.
Yeah.
So they come and check what's on the ground. So when people say that all your teeth in drill pipe and manhole cover and thing, that should be there for the police to see. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, and let me tell you. Let me add to you.
But I'm going
the police could come into the yard anytime and check. And the material that we have in the yard, it has to stay down there for more than 7 days that they could come and watch what's going on. So one saying, if the police was doing the work, we will not have all this problem.
When you get scrap iron,
well,
somebody has to sign something saying you bought the scrap iron from them or no?
No, well, what we do, we take you come into my yard. When you come into my yard, I will have to get the driver's permit or your ID card. Then when we take that, we will go and take a look at the material, and if the material look like material that is not pipes or whatever it is supposed to be. See, like how the guy buy things from licensing, that ain't supposed to happen, because you supposed to, when you see something look suspicious, you supposed to check it out, call and find out where you get this and find out.
When you drive around a truck buying scrap iron and you come in my yard, where I live, I can sell you anything, you taking it.
What we had recommended, and we had started to go around with van men, and we had started listening to me. We say, we see this problem, we're causing the problem, we will put a sticker so you will identify yourself as a bona fide scrap van man. You will also have in your possession a document that if I come by you and I buy something, you now will have to sign and say, listen to me, I sell you, I will take your number, I will take your address.
Bossman, last week, police pulled over a man by Victoria Gardens. And while they was checking his car, police stopped and realized that there was fake police pull over the man. And they end up in shootout, fake police and real police. So if we could have fake police and real police and innocent citizens getting caught up in that, how could anybody trust the authenticity?
I can answer your question. We just go to any break here, or we go right through?
No, I go right through.
You could do a thing though. You want a break? You need to.
No, I need to find out something on the phone because there's something very important.
Mr. Welch, disconnect his audio. Disconnect his audio so he could go and have a private conversation. Send one of the interns.
Which one?
You see, at the
we will continue the conversation because you are making some good points, Mr. Matteson.
At the end of the day, right? So
take the mic off him. Take the mic off him.
We have a gentleman on the program, and what Trinidad and Tobago want to know is what is
Bossman, we want to give you privacy.
What is the impact?
Our mic's live.
Our mic's live, so you can talk there.
So you go and you make your call and come back.
Yeah, what Trinidad and Tobago want to know is what is the impact of the ban on the scrap iron dealers by the government. The impact so far, as he has been saying, is that 20,000 people is without work.
Yeah.
1, 2, this is a $48 million industry monthly or annually?
Annually.
$48 million US dollar annually, right? So, what then, the question is, how, these are people that are licensed according to what he said, and you don't get a license, you get a license just like you get a liquor license.
A liquor license, yeah.
How then, how does that impact, or how does the ban impact on that? 1, and 2, what kind of dialogue, what kind of discussion?
You asked an important question just now. You know?
What kind of discussion
took
place?
You asked an important question just now. Because the police come in to check what on the ground and had to wait there 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
But what is to determine what came there? He say he have to know. He have to look and see if something looks suspicious.
Yeah.
Why isn't it regulated to the point of origin?
Yeah, but you see, all that we talking about, those are things that they could fix. Why want to do what Trinidad and Tobago want to know?
But you drinking rum and fix it already?
Yeah, what Trinidad and Tobago want to know?
Why the government
is
fix
how
it?
These people, what happened? How you just shut down our industry without having any kind of dialogue with the people want?
Yeah, I don't see.
What's the mischief yourself? in shutting it down?
Nothing.
That's the question.
They've solved nothing.
What
He
was the
had
mischief
20
you solved
meetings a year
in
with
shutting it
UNC.
down?
They have
Is
solved-
it that they
they have
solved,
solved nothing.
is that they solve or trying to solve the removal of unwanted copper? That's the mischief you're trying to
Stephen
solve?
Matteson, Stephen Matteson,
What's the
I
mischief you're
asked
trying to
something
solve?
a couple of weeks ago. Why TSTT didn't zone Trinidad? You gotta use the 41 constituencies and give a contractor, this is your constituency, this is your zone, pull down all the copper.
My understanding
Pull
is
down all the
that's some
copper.
other corruption.
I know
involved
that.
with-
It have plenty
with
places
people
that give
After
out
that,
contract. It have plenty
I was
and
just
all that
making
kind
an
of thing.
example.
Yeah,
I
it
was
have
just
plenty
making
ways
an
that they could do it.
example.
You could do
But
it.
I'm saying that if you don't want to deal with these Scrapayan people, you didn't have to shut them down. You could have sent TSTT workers and TSTT contractors to pull down that cable.
I remember talking.
And they would have sell it back to them.
I remember talking to Clyde Elder, who's
That's
a man.
that's some kind of corruption
Something
involved.
going
No,
on,
but
something
I
behind
remember
this.
talking to Clyde Elder, who's a good man.
Yeah,
Who
he's
would
a
have been
good
able to
man.
fall
He's a
in
good
this conversation. I didn't think of him before. But Clyde was telling me, he said the amount of money that's sitting on those wires there, all the problems that they have with TSCT with back pay and
Could be
and
solved.
all- could be solved.
Yeah.
They could have taken down that, sell that,
Yeah.
and pay off all the back pay,
But only
everything.
TSTT
It
workers-
will have
don't wanna solve the
pay for
problem.
the price of it now would have paid for putting it up in the first place
Boss man.
and using it
And
for
using
years.
it.
the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
TSTT workers who waiting on their back pay made that suggestion.
Yeah.
They made
You
that
don't want to solve it.
suggestion.
You see, what you are asking, the impact that it's going to have on the 20,000 people, the impact there to see. But the game that being played right now is they're trying to turn the population and the members doing that themselves too, because I mentioned this on my program the other day, Mr. Ferguson. When you protest by putting 2 mounds of sand on the highway, right, and you disrupt the populations,
You
the
lost,
John public,
you lost
Yeah,
support.
you put
you
it.
lost support.
You just
You
lost
don't
all
want to-
your support.
You don't
We
want
wanna
to
support
rile
you.
the population. You don't want to turn the population against you.
That's
you
what
want to
that-
you want
that's
them
what
to
I said.
sympathize
That's what I
with you.
said. This idea of burning tire, blocking road
Yeah.
and thing, that can't be the only play we have.
Yeah.
But you
We
know
have
something?
51 other
And
cars.
we'll have a
in the
motorcade
back.
tomorrow.
Because you
You know,
do
but
that.
you know
right?
what,
you
you
know
know, I agree with all you know.
But I don't know if the
I
motorcade
agree
bad
with
the
all
impact.
you. But I want all you to look all over the world. All over the world. When it have protests, a lot of people just be inconvenient. People stop, people
That's
take the
true.
road, everything is
Yeah, but that's
you
like-
ever see a
that's the concept of
peace?
protest.
You ever see a nice, decent protest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
Yes, Japan. In
Eh?
Japan, the
Oh
boss,
gosh, jump no
Look where you call. Look where you call.
But
he
here,
say,
listen,
wait. He say all around the world.
Listen,
Japan in the world.
Philip. The thing is, you're correct, but you had to ask yourself, what did you get from the protest? I used to be involved in a lot of
You know what I
protests
want to
sometime.
ask you? You know what I want to
When
ask
he was
you?
younger,
And you in the
he had
media.
hair.
You're all in the media, right? I asked this question already. If I say tomorrow the media, the Prime Minister say the media them reporting bad stories, and because of that I'm shutting down the media for 6 months to fix it, what are you going to do? What the media will do?
I will applaud.
What the media will do?
I hope that he continues on and he says
Yes.
that the
If I
parliament
say-
is doing nothing. So we're going to
Yeah, let me shut down the
We're not
parliament.
shut it down.
Let me
Dissolve it.
all right, we say
Dissolve it.
the police not doing a good work because they're not holding the criminals. What to do? Shut down the
You
police
see what they
force?
do? You see what they do in America? They move a motion to stop funding the police. Trinidadians don't understand how to play this game, you know.
Yeah, but
No, but Trinidadians don't understand how to play this game.
But
No,
the-
in terms
the
of
point is-
inconveniencing the public, the police did it, and he mentioned that
the
this
point
morning.
is- the point
Truly,
is
they are
this.
total policing. I
When
don't
you-
think the public was
I-
ever
I
convenient
am
more
not.
than
I am
that.
not against protest.
Than that is.
I think protest is good because sometimes protest
You know what is- you know-
you solve problem with protest. But here what? What
must have
have
a
you
strategy.
gotten? What have you gotten from your protest so far?
No,
Have they
no.
called you?
I
Have they
not
spoken to
me.
you?
I will do the motorcade. But you see,
Just now. I'm talking. Listen to the question.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. I'm not saying you in particular. Your industry.
yeah.
What change has taken place since
Your
that
protest.
protest?
Let me say this to you, right? Everybody know the PNM. The PNM will not give up just so, you know. You have to continue. And you see, we have a 10 days thing that we protest today and we forget tomorrow. And that is why I'm telling all about me, the difference in me. I just go all over the country. I talking to my men. Just yesterday I was there. The other day I talking to them. Sometimes I just operate like a politician. I inside of you, mobilizing you. I calling everybody. Right? And I'm trying to tell you that I different.
Yeah, but you know,
You know why I'm telling them today again? I said, if we will have to come out of the vehicles and come around the parliament go open just now. The parliament going to open just now.
Bossman, I want to tell you this. The reason Trinidad is the way it is that everybody, when it reached by them, they just protest then. If the government come and give what you ask for, you done gone down back.
You feel so?
No, but I'm saying that the country is broken, sir. You cannot live in a country where the Prime Minister could just say, I shut down your industry, and that be okay.
And that is it.
It cannot be
no
okay.
Real reasoning, no
20,000
hard
people.
evidence.
This is a dictatorship. You should have been in the courts. You should have get an injunction. You need lawyers. This is what Mr. Matterson is telling you. This is what Mr. Reis is telling you. Yes, do your protests. But if your protests are not bringing measurable results because all they're using you to do is sell papers.
Is there any evidence at all to suggest that the vandalism that was taking place come from your industry?
No, they don't have no evidence of that. They never hold nobody with no copper.
They never went to no scrapyard and say, hey, look, the copper here.
Stephan,
do. Just recently, in 2018 or 19, they were go in Charlotte Street or one of them, and somebody who was selling, telling pipers, and then they get 2-3 bags of that. So they show back that, and they put that in a report that they say that linked to Venezuela and China and all kind of foolishness, and name a criminal that now come out, because you know what the motion with the people is? It's to demonize this industry now.
Right, but
all of a sudden, this industry come involved in all kind of things.
Yeah, because my thing is, before the copper cable started, all the highlighting of copper cables being cut down, we never hear about no bacchanal within the scrap iron industry. It might have had things there that exist on a small level, but it was never major like this.
But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here.
But hold on, it's as if it had a countdown, and when it reached zero, it was planned. It was planned.
But I explained already how the nexus would have come about. He said that a year or two or so, they would have given TSCT a proposal.
Right.
No, that's
Think
about think about how the processing would have gone. So clearly, the government or the powers of may have seen you as also a copper dealer, a person who make a deal or dealing in copper.
But that's the point. That's the point. If you had agreed, and if you had sought refuge to the court, and you had agreed that we are not going to trade in copper, we want to surrender our copper licenses. We want to make it so that the police could come and check all of our yards every day, and if you find anybody with copper, charge them. But we have to run our business. We have to feed our family. It's 20,000 people. It's a $50 million a year industry. The public need the service that you provide.
Before they started the cordon cable, right? Historically, it have any agency, security agency that hired by TSTT or the government to monitor and police these wires from vandalism?
No, well, TSCT had a security, you know.
TSCT, those lines, those probably about 2-3 years ago, I don't know if it still exists. Allied Security had the contract that a unit called Cable Cut unit. And that unit had the authority to arrest persons caught stealing copper, and they had a monitoring device on those cables.
Right.
So once you cut them cable,
alarm
would go off, and it would have gone off in Allied Security monitoring station.
Okay.
And they would have dispatched vehicles to hold the
And
people. And that was happening. That was very effective.
Okay, but if you had
I don't know if they moved that, if they stopped that or whatever.
If that was the situation that was in place, that you had somebody securing the cables, and if anybody cut the cable, an alarm would go off and the security would be on it like that.
And they arrest a lot of people in the past. And that I know that for a fact.
So then the only way that all of this could have been taken place is if they do have the contract again.
Well,
and nobody monitored it.
Then
we had to find out why the contract was.
Yes, right. That's the question. This is what I'm saying.
Why was the contract?
It sounds like a planned, constructive thing.
But this is
it sounds to me
all
like
of
that.
A sudden,
because you just stop that contract, you leave the cable to anybody. And then you have people cutting it. Somebody in TSCT probably selling it.
Here I make the point. Here I say that, yeah?
And then
it's Trinidad we living in. So if I work in for a security agency that monitors these copper wires, and I know the kind of money that it would, because it had to be worth something for TSCT to hire an agency to police it, correct?
Yeah.
Good. If my contract is terminated by TSTT or the government or whoever, the people who want that copper, but they're going to find out that it have nobody policing the wires again.
Exactly.
And that's the only way they're going to start cutting it down the way that they started to cut it down.
And from my information, they didn't even used to cut cables in Port of Spain and environs and things. They used to cut cables like in all rural areas like Tabakit and all them kind of places. That way cables used to be cut.
So we have to wrap up and let this gentleman, and I want to thank you very, very much for making the time to come. But just now you went to take a phone call and I thought it had something to do with information for the show. I don't know. You have anything else you would like to add?
No, it had to do with our permission to Motorcade tomorrow.
Okay, so you have any Motorcade tomorrow?
Yeah, the Motorcade will go.
All right, well, give us
that's why we need to.
But I want to ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
Besides the physical protest, have you engaged legal representation?
That's something.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You have a lawyer.
Let me explain a little bit to you now. You remember early part of my conversation, I tell you I have all type of people in this organization. I remember I told you also I would have spent more than $1,300,000 already since we start fighting the government. And a lawyer would have charged us like $700,000. And if I can't raise it, they don't expect me to put
Alright, so I want to come back to this. You can't give me long stories. You can't give me long stories for these questions, right?
Yeah.
So you do not have any legal action pending with the state.
No.
And that, sir, and I want to tell you that I have good lawyers. And I'm going to reach out to my lawyers to work with your organization. Stephan Reis will be calling you with numbers of attorneys, proper lawyers, who will give of their time to your association to go before the courts and file injunctions against the state, putting 20,000 people on the breadline. That was your first course of action, okay? And we are going to work with you. And I want to tell you, when the talk spread that Phillip is going to organize lawyers for you, all of the Anand Ramlogans and Prakash Ramadas and all of them, Kyle Tiloksing, will be ringing up your phone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Because that should have been your first action.
Yeah, an injunction.
The state.
We make effort.
The state doesn't have this authority. Stephan, I want to believe that in a court of law, the Prime Minister does not have that authority.
I think they lose.
He doesn't have grounds. He owe you compensation.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister don't have grounds to shut down your industry because the police not doing their job. The Prime Minister don't have grounds to shut down your industry because customs ain't doing their job. He could shut down the police. He could shut down customs.
In Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister could do anything.
No.
Yeah, but should we shut down the Coast Guard?
Which is why...
Because we had to go in court and say, should we shut down the Coast Guard because we have to...
They would have done that under some regulation or something like that. I'm almost sure that...
Unless you could tell me that the scrap iron dealers giving people monkeypox, they can't do them that. And you need to take this before a court of law, and we are going to help you with that. This is where we come in, and we're going to help you with that. You need to get this before a judge.
Yeah.
Let the law decide. There is a law for this. Good.
With your help, and I accept your help.
Thank you. We will work together.
No problem.
In closing, all of the nice flowery words that you want to tell Stephan and Stephen for being so nice and gentlemanly. Not me, I was a Neanderthal for the interview.
The floor is yours, you, man. And you can tell everybody about the Motorcade tomorrow, and you know, you can encourage people to come out, man.
Alright, well, what I would like to tell Trinidad and Tobago, this is not about the scrap industry alone, this is about all the people that facing the kind of problem that we face.
This is about justice. This is an unjust act by that Prime Minister.
Yeah. So we are asking people to come out in our Motorcade tomorrow. It starts at 10 p.m. and it starts at the Boat Sanctuary in Caroni. It will go up to the highway by Grand Bazaar and make a right, and we will go up the highway and we will make a left by Center Accident, and we will start to come down the main road from that area, the Tuna Puna.
What's the purpose of this motorcade? To cause traffic?
Well,
or are you ending somewhere and having a speech?
We start with the news conference as normal and explain the reason for doing it, and we have other...
No, but you see what he said just now, right? And I'm sorry, and I want to tell you this. If you reach out to this gentleman here, Stephan understands this thing. So he will give you his number, and he will tell you, when he asks you what mischief something solves, you have to ask yourself, is it in my best interest?
How you think you all know about this? If we wasn't vocal and outside there showing the public, how you think it in the street is because of why?
That's not why.
Why
Satish Ramsaran has been trying to reach out to you from the moment the thing started to deteriorate. And we watch it become this whole hullabaloo and we step back. Bossman Reis is involved with that. Satish Ramsaran is our party organizer. But he will also be in touch with you. We want to help. All right, now that the whole hullabaloo has brought you very little returns, we want to show you that you still have an actionable issue and that you should be guided. We have the ability to do that. We will do that for you. But I want to know your motorcade tomorrow.
I could continue.
Yes, you could, but your motorcade tomorrow, what is the objective of it?
You see, how I mean, what is our objective? The government closed down the industry. There's hundreds of children will be able to go to school Monday because of the government action. You know.
How much people pay in our motorcade?
Oh God.
End our motorcade here by my office tomorrow, and I will give you...
No, we are doing it by the Savannah.
I will give, well, even better, because I was going to give you a platform to have a press conference here. Okay? Let the public hear you. Don't just inconvenience the public. Let them hear you.
Well, you say you have a press conference.
Before. What's happening in the Savannah?
No, we didn't get no... We couldn't get to set up nothing in the Savannah because we know it will take one set of up and down and one set of things, so we will go around the Savannah, then we will just thank the people for coming. But the whole thing about it is we will have a news conference and I will speaking at the Boat Santery site in Caroni Day in the starting of the rally. The rally, as I was mentioning to you, will come down the Eastern Main Road. It will head straight to Port of Spain. Then it will come down Reis Road, come across by Power Gen, and go straight around the Savannah. We'll make a around the Savannah. What I'm trying to tell people in Trinidad and Tobago, why you want to make noise with us? Why we don't make noise for the government and tell the government straight now the scrap industry? Why? Because are we doing something today? Or we block the road and you all don't like it? Or some people might don't have all the sense to say they're blocking the road. Everybody in Trinidad, there's only one people that they like to blame. They don't like to want to blame other people who ain't in charge. We hire the government to take care of us. And you know what they do? They shut down the industry. We saying, why we don't make noise? All they want to make noise and say, these scrap people shut down the road. Why don't make noise? Tell the government, fix the problem. Fix the problem. That's what we need to do. But you know, we don't want to do that because we are accustomed. Only want to blame the setter down, the people who under the ground.
But you're saying that.
If it was.
You're saying that and what you marching for before
if it was a person who looked like me and sung like me, you find it in
can't let you say that because this group of people lead a protest and sign a 128,500 signature petition. How come I didn't see you there? Who you was marching with?
How you know I wasn't there?
Who you was marching with?
How you know I wasn't there?
You just said I agree with you, you know. I agree with you. Can
no,
you say that?
That's why we...
But who you was marching with before?
No, but wait.
What you march with
before? You need to understand. You need to understand this reason. And this didn't come today, you know. This didn't come today. We've been fighting this battle since 2011. So you believe that this fight start now, and because you seeing it out in the public now, you believe that this only start today, but this start a long time. So and we listen to me. You know what I mean? You didn't make a statement when we asked Petrotrin, to get the material. Petrotrin gave me the material, and you know what happened? A month before the bid, somebody registered a company and win the bid, and they want to talk about experience. Where all the people involved in politics was.
That is
what I'm trying to.
Sir, that is my point. You have left yourself isolated. Have you reached out? But I'm saying to you, if you're fighting a fight for 11 years and you are gaining ground, I want to tell you this.
Yes.
Maybe, sir, at least let me say something. You have to have the ability to tell yourself, maybe I have to approach this differently. Have you looked for solidarity and support? Because solidarity and support comes at a price that you reciprocate, that you give support when other people have issues. What you just said to that camera, we saying for years, by telling you, tell me what you was marching for before they come at you. All of us in Trinidad and Tobago are guilty of that, not just you. And the day all of us realize how you feel, because I saying it for decades, when the wolf reach your door, you just remember, Trinidad don't work. Trinidad don't work. Nothing don't work. We could fix it. What you need fixing could fix. He said it. Regulate your industry. He said it. It is an essential industry. Get the right.
We pushing for that.
You need no.
We can't do that.
You need to take advice, and I'm telling you this. Talk to your people.
Nobody telling me I have to regularize the industry. That's what we're doing.
No, I'm telling you that you have to work with people to get what you want done. Talk to your people when you leave here. If you all want to end here tomorrow, I'm telling you, I'll make it possible for you to come and have a press conference.
I need to say this to you. That is why the last March rally, Motorcade that we had last Wednesday, we had all different type of people involved in the rally. I don't know if you're watching or you're not watching. You'll hear my cry. You'll hear my call out to the people. I am call out to you. I had make a call to you and invite you.
Boss man, we will come in, but I want to tell you something.
I invite you.
I asked them what was the program. I want to get involved and help. That's why you're here today. When your matter waning and they're telling you, you know the government telling you, they're not taking you on. You can go outside and light yourself on fire, they don't care. They don't have to care. Your job is to make them care. And it's not threatening them when you open your parliament. It's to go and use your very laws against you. I'm going to come and sue you. I'm going to bring this in a court of law, and I'm going to engage in solidarity with everybody else who in a similar struggle. That is what you have to do.
I want to tell you something. Vice might be right.
You're my support.
Vice might be right. I will tell you something. You know what happened in Sri Lanka recently? The same set of poor people and people was fed up of what the government doing. You know what happened? It's people like ourselves came out, you know.
Everybody
people
talking about
Sri
Lanka.
Yes. And not they alone. It have places like Americans and all different places.
I am a politician in Trinidad, and if Rowley come back tomorrow and say, ban lifted, sell copper.
No.
You ain't going in the president's house like they do in Sri Lanka.
Don't say that to me because you don't know. You don't know about me. This struggle, let me tell you something.
What would be your motivation? What would be your motivation? You've said here, sir, your motivation is that you've had 140 meetings with the UNC, and you ain't getting no meetings with this government, but your business, your industry is still not regulated. You said all these things.
No, but Anita, you know Trinidad and Tobago. You live here, you're a politician, you understand them. What I'm trying to tell you, and you don't understand me, if you listen my fight and you hear how I speaking, I am not speaking because, you see, it's have something in life. You might be a little boy and then you come to be a big man, and then you think this change. Life this change. Think what people do, people. This change people. I might not be a fighter all the time, but I know because what they do me make me a fighter. Okay. And what they do me, when they make me to come out and say, I want to represent poor people now. Good. I want to fight. Good. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
I like it. You need to understand that. I like it when you're talking. Well, so say your goodbyes, tell them thank you, give them all the love up. Thank them for the rub.
So the people who want the breadline right now, what their position?
Donna Cox feeling again.
They get any help from
the government?
Donna Cox says she giving them bribe.
And nothing make specially for them, you know. That's nothing. That's the normal. Anybody could apply for that. That's nothing. That's something you have to wait 3 months for.
NS and taxes, I think they apply for that in the first place,
right? It's the same kind of thing that they have. No special arrangement for no scrap dealers, brother.
Because you all were part of the informal economy. Nobody was, you know, so.
Mr. Gentleman, you have our support. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming. You say your thank yous too, but I want to thank you for coming and tell Trinidad your story, because Trinidad needs to hear your story. They're blocking your story. They're showing your antics, but they're not telling your story. We want to help your story get told.
I appreciate that, and I humbly accept the words that you had to give me that good advice. I don't think none of your advice wasn't good. It's just that how you probably would have come to me, and I probably might be the same kind of heated person like yourself.
I like that.
That would have happened, and that is because of all of that. But to say that what you are saying to me is not the correct things, no, I wouldn't say it. It's just that sometimes you might not understand the whole industry. This industry, to Trinidad and Tobago, is which is rich the poor people. do die or run away. It does reach people. That is why you see all over Trinidad and Tobago, people will buy van and this and all kind of truck to able to eat our food and do something. Because this is an industry we create. And before this start, we had went to the government and showed them that we have a big project that they call the ship project, will be the biggest in this region, which all type of people that are coming to Trinidad to work on this project with us, and they will see the value of the project too. So what I'm saying is that this project be
bigger than the struggle.
This will show them
bigger than the struggle.
This will show them that because when they see the figures, they'll open up their eyes. And this will cause that thing. But I'm telling Trinidad and Tobago, I give myself, and I pray and I beg God to give me more strength and to protect me, to able to fight this battle and to able to get victory from this battle. It's not about one today, one tomorrow and forget. It's all different action, and any help we will get, we willing to take it, because I am not the person who don't take advice, and I will take anybody advice to able to make this struggle more stronger.
You are the right lion for this struggle. You just need a little guidance and advice, and we willing to help you with that.
And you see,
Amen.
And you see how it is be? I'm willing to take it.
Good.
I'm willing.
Thanks for you and the guys coming up, right? David, you wrap him up.
Yeah, man. We look forward to the motorcade tomorrow, man. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And the average.
My number is 6822110. Everybody have my number. If your people decide that at the end of the motorcade you would like to stop off here, feel free. Give me a shout tonight. We'll make arrangements for you. I will make sure that you get an opportunity to have your voice heard.
Okay, no
All
problem.
right.
Thank you, man.
Take care, my brother.
All right, so that's Alan Ferguson, president of the Scrap Iron Association, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, it not justified, and I think court is the right place that you're supposed to be headed to the court.
One of the things that people, I mean, are sitting here and listening to him, and you know, one of the things that people really don't understand is the real need for them fellas, you know.
Yeah.
Think about it. We imported hundreds of thousands of vehicles. I'm just using one thing. Vehicles, iron, every year. And in the same breath, hundreds of thousands of them becoming derelicts.
Yeah.
With nowhere to go.
This people.
Them is the fellas who getting it out.
People have to understand that one of the things that this administration very skilled at is pretending to solve a problem
And shutting down things.
by creating a bigger problem.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do here is they didn't solve the problem because their solution to the issue is not a solution.
They make a bigger problem.
And they're going to create a bigger problem where crime concerned.
We got 20,000 people on the bread line.
But that's what's going to happen.
What are you going to do with them?
You never they say in one of the protests? One of the fellas and them was protesting, they say crime going to go up.
Yeah, and you know,
They say it.
But brother, if you take people
They said it.
if you take people at that level of society and give them no safety net, but take food out their mouth, what you leave for them to do?
But I give some statistics here.
I think it was planned.
You know, when you really think about it, you have the majority. The average income in Trinidad and Tobago is about $5,000 to $6,000.
Yeah.
Right? Average. And I was doing some maths yesterday because the day before yesterday, I had a partner and his girlfriend come to stay by me. I'm not a breakfast person. So I decided to go and get some bread. And I went to buy a nice loaf, a nice one of those wheat loaf. It was $25 for it. And I was thinking, that will feed 3 people breakfast. But most families, a single parent woman who work in KFC or something, working for about $3,000 to $4,000, and had to cater for probably 3 children with 2 meals minimum per day. Breakfast alone is $100 and something. Breakfast alone, you buy some eggs, some sausage, 2 bread, $100.
Yeah, about $100, yeah.
$100. That's his whole salary, you know, just for breakfast. That's not traveling money yet. That's not lunch, and that's not dinners yet.
Yeah.
How them living, boy?
I don't know. I try to figure that out every day.
And $3,500, boy?
Yeah.
How them living?
Listen.
Like breakfast alone. And people just compare Trinidad with the US and think, listen, food. caters for about 4% of the income of an average American.
Right.
4%.
But and
food. You know what it is? It's 100% for somebody I just took all there.
Yeah, Stephen, let me tell you something. It's gonna get worse before it starts to get better. It's gonna get worse. And that is why you see everything that you mentioned there. And you mentioned the person that working for $3,500 a month and how much that money gets them. When you break down the figures like that and the reality hits you and you start to ask questions, well, how are these people surviving, right?
They're surviving.
You have to ask yourself the next question. Because this is the question. The only thing that bothered me yesterday, what we were celebrating, what was there to celebrate? The same way that you could ask how these people surviving, I am saying
the people dependent on Tom, the Canary and government. They're
how these people surviving, but how these people what these people celebrating yesterday. Yesterday I saw one of the most hilarious yet disappointing, I feel shame. I saw a fire truck shoot up some water in the air and then it went so and the water started to spread and everybody run to the fire truck like they in a wet fit and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and they now turn on the hose and they get in free and they start to jump and I'm saying to myself, but what the excitement about? Because about 70% of the country, and that is being very, very generous, on water schedule. Diego Martin, on water schedule. People can't get water 7 days a week in Diego Martin. Somebody messaged me this morning in Marval, in both constituency. They had to buy water, no water for weeks. But a fire truck shooting water up in, well, I had to tell myself, half of the people in the crowd was from Diego Martin and glad to see some water. And the next half had to be from Marval who was glad to see water too. So wait till you're jumping up and celebrating. Wait till you're jumping up and celebrating. Is he and that's how they train them to be. I'm sorry, you know. But that is how they train them to be.
You have no apologies due, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And this is what I was trying to explain to the good gentleman here.
Yeah.
That Trinidadians only realize the size of the quagmire
When it hits you?
when you push a door or you call a number or you go by a station or office that in your mind you believe will be there to serve you because you driving past the sign and you're walking past the sign your whole life.
Yeah.
Ministry of Social Development. And okay, now I need it.
Yeah.
So you go in there and you bounce up a security guard. And the security guard tell you, well, there is only deal with people by appointment. And you have to email for an appointment. Trinidad is a big catch-22. Trinidad is a place where, you ever hear, a catch-22, a fellow came up with this concept of catch-22, where you can't get a job as a mason unless you're a member of the union. But you can't be a member of the union unless you're a working mason.
Okay.
You understand?
Right, I understand.
Catch-22 is a conundrum. That is Trinidad.
And you know, when you hear the minister talk about these people have access to services, she didn't tell you what's the catch-22 situation with that. What you had to have to get them service.
Yeah.
So it's like telling families who don't have internet during COVID that had to apply and email. But you don't have internet.
You don't have internet, so
when I lost my job, they cut my internet.
Exactly.
The lady in Maruga.
You understand?
The lady in Maruga, who house, the road, throw down, her name is Lorna. The road separate. Now, her house is below road level. So when you watch from the road, her property down here, so you seen her roof at the level of the road, almost. And the road separate in the middle of the road and come into her house and push her house off the foundation. Pure. The road building company, Pure, came to her property and told her, we will fix the road. But I don't know whose job it is to fix your house.
Your house.
And Lorna sat down there, staring off into space, Because she don't know who to call. They don't have a minister of house. Who does she call? Who does she call? She wouldn't be in the bunch of people taking that wet from the fire engine because the wolf has reached Lorna's
On her door.
The wolf reached this man's door. It reached 20,000. It's like when it reached all
It's like
workers.
It's like
you remember what it was to be a Petrochem worker. Now you can look back and say this. The day Clico closed down, it shocked you. Because you didn't expect that it was possible that Clico could close down.
That would have really happened.
That is possible. The day they shut down Petrochem, because look back before I tell people I know Petrochem workers was working for the Vatican. You walk in the bank to ask for a loan or a credit card and thing, and they say, where you working? Petrochem. Oh, you could have said that from the start. Open with that.
Yeah, one time.
Because a Petrochem job.
No, but yeah.
You're laughing. But a Petrochem job.
I said, hey, Petrochem.
Take a card.
Yeah.
You know how much community.
You want 3?
You know how much community. You know how much community bill for Petrochem workers on credit mortgage that abandoned now, ghost towns. The people who put down their life savings lost everything. They now have, the bank now have judgment against them for houses that
they have
cannot
destroyed lives by closing down
house
Petrochem.
House can't sell.
Yeah. But
So
how much
even-
of them kill themselves? People commit suicide.
So people like Lorna, and these are the people that, and I know, Stephan Reis, you've been doing this. I watched an ad for Breaking Dawn. The man had hair and the flicky finger, all the hair gone.
Yeah.
Where's that ad? What's that about? That's 20 years now you're doing this thing. That you're talking this talk. I asked for Ziri Mohammed. You all don't get jaded talking to people the same talk.
Yeah. I mentioned it the other day, actually saying, this thing getting tiring now. I feel like I could stay in my bed and sleep. But if I do that,
sometimes when you listen to other stations like, say, I-95.5 evening show, you just wonder if all these things we're talking about, if they do exist, if people don't understand.
Like we making up a story.
Like we making up a story. People don't understand
Like
what's the reality
in a fantasy
of
island.
people in this country. What people in the communities going on. It's like the government blind to that. It's like they don't even understand the reality of a single woman with 3 children working for KFC.
Listen.
You know what hard? And I just want to say this, please. You're not hard, but
because it's the very prime minister say, let them get a child, they will help you.
When you say that, you know what hard? When you go on the threads, on the walls, on social media, the people that are attacking her for being unemployed and having 3 children is not people with names different to hers.
Yeah.
Or people who from different communities. They've done such a good job of dividing us.
Yeah.
They've divided us by race. They divide us by religion. Now they're dividing us internally. I watch when these people, when Rowley put up a post, he say, oh, so they dump dirt on the road and dump it, that's the way all they reach. Rhoda Barrett, who is paid by the state,
God, Lord,
wrote on Rowley's thread, this is why all there was to get that anti-gang legislation so you could jail all of them. That's what Rhoda Barrett say. Now, you looking at this man representing 20,000 people who want to eat. They want to feed their children. This is their business. This is what they do. We know that it is essential to the operation of the state. We know that it is essential. All scavengers are. If I were them, I would have partnered with all of the people who work in the dump. Because if tomorrow, and this is what they learn in England, and I want to segue and say something. You see this idea of an essential service that people can't strike by law, that is a criminal act by itself.
Yeah.
Police, army, coast guard, teachers, nurses, sanitation workers, they too have a right to protest and industrial action. And that law should be struck off the books because the state has a responsibility to operate the state in a way that everybody could have a life and take care of their families. That is, Eric Williams said that. if you go back, this, and if David Welsh could find it, because he get very good at this kind of thing. If you go back to Eric Williams' independence speech, so we just celebrate independence, go and listen to what he talked about in his independence speech, where he said the duty of the government is to make sure that people don't end up under economic servitude. And that is what the state has done. And the state just did that to these people.
And they're doing it systematically, and they are institutionalizing it.
Yeah,
by the Prime Minister very own words,
nothing
wrong with the rich getting richer, so that they
the
will
rich must
take
get
care
richer
of
so the poor could get jobs.
Yeah.
He is the president of an association.
One breakfast.
He is the president. Look at the guy. Right? Look at him. Because that's what it come down to. It come down to where you look like and where you're from. Look at the guy. This is a guy who is the head of an association that generates $48 million US a year.
But he's not a stupid fella, eh? He understands business. Eh?
Yeah.
He understands. He's talking about creating international connections to justify and generate more business.
The man say he on the middle page in a European magazine.
He's not a stupid fella.
Right? Now, you look at that, right? Look at the people that will fight him down. There's people that looking just like him.
That's what I don't understand.
Looking just like him. And they will fight him down because he's the president of an association that, just like every other agency, ministry, government, everything in Trinidad and Tobago, have corrupt people and people who will break the law. Customs doing it, the police service doing it.
So bring it back to that.
Everybody doing it.
So bring it back to that. Bring it back to that, please. Explain this to me. If your problem is that they have some people in an industry, in an association, that are committing criminal acts for profit, and your police cannot interdict and interrupt the actions, you shut down the industry. How come the Chamber of Industry and Commerce still standing? How come he didn't shut that down?
Oh, he didn't shut down the police service?
But I want
because the police service obviously serving no purpose because they're not doing the job that they're supposed to do.
But he congratulated the Minister of National Security for doing a very good job.
Boy. I mean,
the job is
with a murder rate that is on the trajectory of reaching 600.
Exactly.
I want to see a debate between Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacob. I tell you why.
That's the debate you want to see?
I want to see that. You know why I want to see that?
I want to see a different debate.
No, but forget that. That kind of debate
and that person,
political leaders
it's not going to happen because that person don't ever, he just run from debates.
Yeah. He's a coward.
He don't ever stand up for debate.
But both of them needed scripted. If they talk off script, they put it.
He loses any debate. Bugs Bunny could win him a debate.
But you see, the reason I want Gary Griffith and McDonald Jacob to have a debate, because I want the moderator to ask them, explain to us, if you know these things are taking place and you are the head of the police service, why is the police service not taking any action? Explain in easy to understand English to the people of Trinidad and Tobago why you as head of the police service, if you say you know that the guns and the drugs coming through legitimate ports, why we don't have police security at the legitimate ports?
That's a question that has to be answered.
Simple Trinidadians, when they brought in, when they opened that container of chicken a couple of years ago that had marijuana. Remember that?
Yeah.
And people ask, why didn't you close it back?
And wait.
And put a GPS. You could go in B-Mobile now.
And follow it.
No, but you could go in B-Mobile now and buy a little square thing so.
And throw it in there.
And throw it inside that container.
And track it.
And track that. You don't even have to have a police car follow behind it. You think they seen me? They seen me, right? You don't have to do that. You could track it GPS. This is a country where in a car dealership, they open a container and cocaine fell on the ground. Nothing about that.
Nothing.
This is a country where a man end up in an emergency surgery because a pouch of cocaine bust in his belly. They open him up, take out all the cocaine, gave it to the people, sew him back up, and everybody went away.
No.
If we that corrupt, and they have worse things, they have much worse things that I really need parliamentary privilege to say. The things that I know about Trinidad and Tobago, if I could put it in your head, you will pack up and leave Trinidad and Tobago. How corrupt and broken. When this guy speaks about police have to come and sign off, what is to prevent the police signing wrong? If we already have, he said, we shipping manifests, 2 different manifests.
Yeah.
One for Trinidad file
And one for
and
foreign.
one for the authentic port of call. Faris Arawi told the parliament that the cocaine that was found in Norfolk, Virginia, the company that shipped it don't exist. That's a lie. That's a lie. Since 9/11, you could have shipped
That company wasn't a company somewhere down Otohiti, somewhere down on that
Osman,
side.
I telling you this.
For it to ship, it must have a company.
You could have shipped it. No. You could ship it to China. You could have shipped it to Vietnam. You could ship it to Spain and England. I accept that. But you see, since 9/11, you shipping anything to America in a container, in a shipping container where they expecting dirty bomb and nuclear bomb and all kind of madness.
They're going through that with a fine teeth comb,
They're not letting you ship a container of cocaine from a fake company to a ghost. And that is what the Attorney General wanted the country to believe. That a fake company was successful in shipping to a ghost. That's not possible. But in our parliament, it is possible. And then the media will write that down. If Faris said, that'll be true.
Yeah, and you see, I don't know. The thing is, when you think about all this conundrum and mishaps and everything that going on, you have to agree that both the UNC and the PNM have to go.
Well, I was not going to say that because for
have to
everything,
go
for
because-
everything to happen, as he said, it happened. As he said, things about, you brought up something, right. For all of that to happen, right?
It has to have some kind of state
And nothing in,
involvement.
and nothing in fixing. From a legislative standpoint, from a policing standpoint, from a national security perspective, then you have to admit that you have 41 problems.
Yeah. You
When
have
you
a
want
failed.
control,
You have a
41
failed legislature. You have a failed state. You have everything.
If you were
Everything
the
failing.
controller of customs and 2 consecutive commissioners of police has accused your organization of facilitating the importation of arms and narcotics into this country. You as the controller of customs would not put a really...
Of course, you must respond.
Gary Griffith, McDonald Jacob.
Yeah, you must respond.
2 commissioners. I don't even go and find, was the next one the actor? What was the name of him? Who acted for all these years? Williams.
Steve Williams.
I'd ask him, what you know about that? Just to see if we get 3 out of 3 dentists.
Yeah, the
see if 3 out
trifecta.
of 3 dentists and
Yeah.
the Colgate works. You understand what I'm saying?
So they may tell you, yeah, we know, but the law doesn't allow us to
act.
take them fellas
So
and
the
down.
law doesn't allow you
That's
to...
what
What does,
they
the
might
law,
say.
what does the law allow them to do?
Well, they may say that they had evidence, and evidence is knowing is not evidence, and that,
Well, yeah, because that the lyrics now.
those are the kind of answers you will get.
An intelligence report is not necessarily
So
evidence.
when you hear
that's the lyrics now,
spend
that's the
millions
lyrics
of dollars to put cameras, but you can't use the cameras in court.
What was the
That's
point?
what
What was the rationale?
So then why you talking cameras and crime, putting both of them in the same sentence?
Look, we have look
Right?
simple thing.
The problem is
All these scanners on both ports.
the problem is governance
We
and
Straight up.
state.
management.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's the
It is
problem.
leadership, management,
Yeah.
governance, parliament, cabinet,
Exactly.
everything.
Stop talking
That's
about
what
cameras.
it
Stop
is.
talking about crime, and you don't know. You hear McDonald Jacob like a little clown come on radio and talk, answer questions, and nothing he's saying making
Police,
sense.
the Prime
Listen,
Minister
you know.
tell them they have his full support. Don't shoot nobody in the leg.
And there's the thing. People have to understand. If the population don't know the problem, by now, I get tired of trying to identify to them. Management, no, I'm serious. Management and maintenance. Look this week, right? I'm going to show you an example. St. James Main Road flood out. The whole of the Bond Road River come down. Why? Why that happen? Because the river get angry, plastic bottles.
Plenty rainfall. I mean,
plenty rainfall, extraordinary rainfall. Listen, if you are managing and maintaining,
Bossman,
whether it's the water courses, whatever it is.
Gary Aboud raised.
It have a lot to do with that. A lot to do with deforestation.
No, but Gary Aboud is that. Gary Aboud is that.
Tongue country.
All that development that going on in the hills in the west.
But
it have a lot to do with all that.
A lot to do with all of that. But what I'm saying, it's management of the entire situation. Who approved those projects to be done? To build there.
That is a whole face of a mountain gone.
Correct.
On Bonds Road.
Yes.
So what used to be grass and soil to catch and hold and percolate the water, it's now concrete drains.
Right.
That send that much square footage of water per minute into a system that was not built for that.
Designed to hold all that water.
It was designed for that.
Didn't they bring engineers from Holland to Trinidad at some point in time in the past to assist with the flooding problem you have here? Because Holland basically was on a swampland, and the Dutch over the years came up with solutions.
They're the best in the world.
To the point where they are right now,
They are the best
where they
in the
have
world.
no flooding again.
Holland is under sea level.
Below sea level.
That is something like Japan, right?
Yeah, no, but Holland is the best in the world at that.
Yeah.
And you could talk to them. You see,
All you need to do, listen, sorry to cut.
no go.
This is the thing. Phillip will fix it, right? Right. Phillip will fix it. That is the campaign. Well, I had to say the campaign you're running, or that's what you're doing these days. You're fixing things. Trinidadian people, here was the thing. Every problem we have, we had to form a committee. We had to form, hold on. We had to form a committee.
We had to have some meetings.
Right, and the committee now must sit and meet and file a report.
And by the way, they are paid, eh?
And, yeah. And the report now must go to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister, or whoever in charge of that particular sector, have to go through the report. And then they have bullshit.
Nonsense.
Every problem that exists in Trinidad and Tobago, it have a solution
somewhere
in the world that they use to solve the same
Not even
problem.
in the world. It have a solution right in Trinidad. It have a solution right in Trinidad.
All the jackasses have to do is stop trying to pretend that they're brighter than everybody else in the world by coming up with some new solution that they want to sell you as a new solution to solve a problem that people have solved already in the world.
People in Trinidad send this meme about the Romans building roads that still last to this day. And then the engineers came. It's not the engineers. Our engineers know how to build roads. What came was the contract mafia.
Thank you.
There is a mall in this country. I wouldn't point out where it is.
Yeah, no point.
There's a mall in this country that was built like this. These are the people involved there. The developer, the bank, the contractor. The developer, the bank, the contractor, and the engineers. When the architect designed the mall, they told them use, let's say, 2-inch rebar in the concrete. That's how you make reinforced concrete, by using something called reinforced steel, rebar, right? That it has been thick pieces of metal, corrugated. You could see it when they're building. It's tight, and then you pour the concrete over that, and that's what gives concrete its strength. So let's say they tell him use 2-inch rebar. He go to the engineer, and the engineer, the architect, the engineer said use 2-inch rebar. So that's what he go to his builder with. His builder tell him, steel expensive. And I think he over-engineering. So tell the bank, we're using 2-inch, so they will finance 2-inch. But I'll use 1.5 inch, and you and I could split the difference.
Correct.
So he go to the bank, and he said the engineers want 2-inch, and this is the cost. And he paid the builder for 1.5 inch to split the difference. But the engineer, the builder now have you as a co-conspirator in crime with him.
So where is the architect and all of this?
The architect nowhere wrong.
Nowhere
the engineer
wrong.
responsible for signing off on this.
Yeah.
The architect not coming to see the concrete before it pour. So check this. So you as the developer con the bank and split our money with the builder. The builder already have you, this is a real story. The builder already have you as a co-conspirator in a fraud. You supposed to use 2 inch. You pay him for 1.5 inches. And he used 1 inch.
Take off a whole inch.
So he split that money with you and bill you.
A whole inch is up here.
So you paid him for 1.5 inches. And he used 1 inch.
Oh, they are crime.
If ever you stand up in a mall and they have no earthquake, but you feel like it's shaking all the time,
that is crime.
That is the story.
That is crime.
And what's
your crime?
And that is the problem.
Crime.
Today, Current went in Port of Spain.
Any crime, all I don't know about and all I don't check on.
Current went in Port of Spain and people were trapped in an elevator in Hyatt. Hyatt don't have a generator for the elevator.
That happened when?
Today.
Today?
Today.
Hyatt must have a generator, man. All that money we spend?
My nephew, who works as an attorney in the Attorney General's office, was stuck in that elevator until Current came back.
Today?
Today.
Hyatt don't have a generator?
Hyatt. So the most modern building built in the country now is Waterfront. Yes, Hyatt? And you would expect that they would have generators at least to bring the elevator in the States. I don't know anywhere else, but as a law, you have to be able to bring the elevator to somewhere and open the doors. That is your responsibility. It has to be able to come to somewhere and open the doors. We have responsibility for that. That's your responsibility. But not in Trinidad. And it might be a rule. We have OSHA. I don't know. But I stand up. I am one of the people who stood up in Paria and couldn't believe that 4 divers in a pipe that were alive were flushed out dead days later. Because we in Trinidad and Tobago didn't have the ability to mount a rescue. And that's just that. I ain't saying go into that conversation. We talk that a lot.
But we celebrate 60 years, but go ahead. 60 years, man.
Those people who, they message me and say, Phillip, I know you're vexed. I know you're just vexed. The country don't work good, I think, but the parade was nice. And I tell myself, boy,
I didn't see it.
That song like the name of a movie I heard, A Kiss Before Dying.
Yeah.
You know, the parade nice. We could go home and suffer after. It was enjoyable to watch. That is Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
That's Trinidad and Tobago. And we forget when they tell you that Norway, every time I read a story about Norway, Singapore, Finland, I get vexed.
Scandinavians.
I get vexed. Trinidad spend money on Napa, Sapa, and Taruba. That is more money than built Buckingham Palace. You understand what I'm telling you? We could have had actual functional...
we built Brian Lara Stadium for I think it's $1 billion. And I think the Yankee Stadium, if you convert that money to US dollars,
it's way less.
Was less than that, and plus they cover, I mean, I don't know if you ever went there, but they had home literally, right?
And when you look at
you go in Brian Stadium.
I wouldn't even call that a stadium.
It's just
a training facility.
I mean,
we just say Brian Lara Stadium, but it's Brian Lara training facility.
When last they
between the UNC and the PNM. Between the UNC and the PNM.
Well, the training
$1.2 billion, why? We do that money, why?
They're training people for
that?
It's for the training.
No, man.
It's a Fed training academy. Oh yeah, just go there and train the Fed and then come on the road.
and then come on the road Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So
everything.
You just go down there to Aruba, you just train, and when you finish there, Carnival Monday and Tuesday, you know you're good to go.
Yeah, everything in Trinidad and Tobago costs
you can't miss
100 times what it costs elsewhere.
Listen,
Strange.
I turned on the TV. I didn't know the TV was on that channel. It was on TTT. I don't know how it ended up there. But yesterday morning, I turned on the TV. I see a horror movie, you know. I see the president on the back of a van waving, you know. That was that horror movie for me. You know that horror movie for me? That woman don't say that woman don't say a word. She have nothing to say on what's going on in the country. Nothing. She gives no opinion. She said, at least with Carmona.
But it's not
Carmona would have come out and make a statement.
It's not a position.
Put out something.
It is not a place to do that.
Well, then, all right. Well, if she do have a place to do that, then she do have a place.
Listen, I wouldn't knock the independence celebration, because sometimes even if you have to sublimate your patriotism, I don't think that's one of the times you would want to do that, right?
That
because
I
mean, you want to celebrate the fact that you've been free from
free from what?
Free from the what we would have called the sovereign power of England, you know, that kind of thing, and a free nation.
That's some people will say we will be better off on that right now.
I wouldn't say that, but what I'm saying is, if we have to celebrate our independence, we have to understand also that there are things that could have been done that was not done, and we have to be able to introspect and look at where other nations who became independent around the same time, where they have been, what the kind of income, the kind of money we earned over the years, what we did with it, and what we could have done with it. We have to look at all those things.
Nobody ain't doing that. Nobody ain't doing that. Public servants, listen, public servants have 4% facing them. Well, Amalgamated Workers Union take their 4%, right? But they have 4% wage negotiations going on. Up to now, all essential workers that the Alsing and them was praising between 2020 and 2022, all they get is a small tin of biscuit smaller than the palm of my hand. Right? Strategy. We were just talking to Ferguson here, right? Everybody does protest without strategy. You know what I do? I practice every day. I practice. Blow my thing, beat my drum, everything. Rah! And Independence morning, I would not show up. That is how you send a message. You want to send a message? That is how you send a message. Practice, man. Yeah, 60 years. And Independence morning, nobody show up. No police, no army, no fire service.
I ain't going there.
No, yes, but why? You can't protest otherwise unless you're satisfied
about that celebration of our independence.
But if you want to send a message, if you're serious, if we live in a real world where people are serious and they're fighting for what is rightfully theirs, you can't get your back pay, you can't get your salary increase, and you want to send a message, that is the time you choose.
Let me tell you this.
That is the time you choose, Stephen.
What use will you make of your independence? What will you transmit to your children 5 years from today? The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more than the right to vote and one vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. This democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. Democracy means the protection of the weak against the strong. Democracy means the obligation of the minority to recognize the right of the majority. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power, and the violation of human freedoms and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all, and the subordination of the right of any race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly of organization. And that is a part
that is Dr. Eric
of
Williams.
Dr. Eric Williams'
and
independent speech.
You see that part where he spoke about protection from the government from the exercise of arbitrary power. When we were talking about to the gentleman here earlier on, that's exactly it.
That was arbitrary
the exercise of arbitrary power. You did not have any kind of discussion with these people before you did that.
No.
That's what makes it arbitrary.
But you don't have a justification.
Nobody expecting it to do that. There was no justification, because if the mischief is protecting the copper that is stealing on the lines, that's the mischief, right? Then you could have simply banned the exportation of copper. I mean, any sensible, critical thinking person will go down that road. But you destroy for 6 months a whole industry. Put 20,000 people, if what the gentleman is saying is correct.
20,000 people.
20,000 people on the bread
Directly
line
or indirectly.
and destroy a possible 50,000 US dollars, 50 million US dollars.
They do it because they could.
That is the exercise of arbitrary power.
So you read several things there that today,
This is the last one.
while we're celebrating 60 years,
Let me give it this one.
does not exist again.
Democracy finally rests on a higher power than Parliament. It rests on an informed and cultivated and alert public opinion. The members of Parliament are only representatives of the citizens. They cannot represent apathy and indifference. They can play the part allotted to them only if they represent intelligence and public spiritedness. And that, my friends, is this show. It is the show that Stephan does, that Fazir does. It's what the activists do, the people who stand in the breach for others. That's what he was speaking about. Yeah, if you go back to the start of Trinidad and Tobago, we had a good plan, you know. Something went wrong.
Greed.
Yeah, something went awry.
I hear stories
Greed.
about people who sit down and realize that the same people who were corrupting the public service when the Queen was here came to the people who now had power and said, well, you know, this is how business is done, you know. Bag of money.
Greed.
You in a place now where the last man used to get a bag of money.
No, I think what it did over the years was circumvent the good rules to
legitimize corruption.
And over the years it ended up institutionalizing it.
Yep.
Right? And at the end of the day, we blame the UNC for what they did between 2011 and 2015. But really, they just put on steroids.
They just continue.
They just put on steroids what the PNM was doing all the time.
Mr. Man.
In fact, they just mastered it a little bit. But the PNM has done nothing since they came back to fix that or to change the reality. So they're doing the same thing.
And
this is what I'm saying, because you know, Stephan says something every time he come on the program, and this is what I like him for. He encourages us to think, really and truly.
He does.
Ask yourself, why government ministers are not jailed for the things we blame the UNC for between 2010 and 2015. You know why? Because really, who allows it, who enables all that kind of thing is the state. It's not the minister. They can't thief.
Pandey said that.
They can't thief by themselves.
Pandey
The
said
state
that.
had to enable them, had to assist
No,
them.
but not the state. Not just the state. What we call the contract mafia. You see, people want to be lazy and say blame the Syrians and blame the 1%. But it's more than that. The contract mafia requires corrupt public servants. Businessmen, lawyers, accounting firms, people at the highest of the levels of society that we hold there, members of parliament, ministers. For there to be a contract mafia, understand this, when you look at what was done under the PNM, just continued on under the UNC.
Exactly.
When they spoke,
that's why I say both of them are they might want to fix it.
Place. I remember Michael Naou said on a video to me, he said, Phillip, they talk about the lease that Faris entered into with Patrick Manning when there was no more parliament and that the building wasn't ready. The building really wasn't ready, you know. Manning entered into a lease with the Naou's family for 1 Alexandra Place at a time when the building wasn't ready to be leased, but there was no parliament and they wanted to do this quick because the government might change hands. So they signed a lease. And when they signed the lease, I believe, I heard that they didn't have their final approvals yet from the state. But Michael Naou, who's one of the owners of the building, he said, but the UNC cannot break the lease. Chandra Sharma used the opportunity to finish the project and give out contracts in 1 Alexandra Place. The amount of money spent on that building by governments, on that particular building, if you did a commission of inquiry into 1 Alexandra Place, prime ministers would be in trouble.
And if you want to be like Sri Lanka and you want to really fix Trinidad and Tobago, you have to get rid of all 41 of them and change the construct.
Gotta get rid of the boat.
Which is the state.
When you said
you have to change the construct.
When you said institutionalize, I want to tell you something. Patrick Manning, when he created the special purpose companies, Vemcot, Sport TT, EMBD, EFC, all of them collapsing in a heap.
Yeah, that was to circumvent the construct.
To circumvent the tender process. You know, and a budget, say, $1 billion to HDC. HDC now gives out their contracts themselves. Before, that used to require a tender. Now no more. Sport TT spends whatever money the government gives Sport TT. So the Minister of Finance will stand up in the Parliament and talk a bag of ass. And say, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. You do nothing. You're voting money into a special purpose company so that minister can do what the hell he wants.
Right.
We spoke about this, and I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago, I know people at the highest level of this society who are willing to give evidence to a commission of inquiry about the kind of criminal activity. When I tell you, I use this term bag of money. A man would tell me, the new ministers that pull up in office, they end up going for lunch. See the keys, there are Porsche Cayenne park up outside there. Drive it for a while now. If you find anything in it, is yours. That's how I just tell you. Range Rover. Garbage bag of money in the trunk, you know. Anything you find inside it, don't call me. Is yours. Garbage bag of money. When we talk about at election time, PNM and UNC could spend $5, $10, $15, $20 million on an event to pay people to bring 10,000, 15,000 people, Eddie Hart, Mid-Center Mall, set up a drone, look at people. That money, where's the Financial Intelligence Unit?
Yeah,
where is the FIU? You are not covered in any way for that money. Where did that money come from? Where's the Financial Intelligence Unit? I did an interview with Basdio Pandey and I asked him questions and he was stunned. There were things he just could not answer. And I realized that a lot of our prime ministers didn't know what they were doing. They had no clue. They were puppets. And this is when I started to say this. They were puppets of the contract mafia. They were telling them, all right, we think that bag of money was for this. Don't interrupt that project that you see that was going on under the last government. Let that go. That's what that bag of money, the next bag of money, bring it. That's how Trinidad is run. Bag of money politics. A minister's former stepdaughter was found on top a mountain of drugs. How that case have finished yet?
Be 2 hours. Be 2 hours now, eh?
How that case have finished yet? You all have to decide, all of us in Trinidad and Tobago, if that's good enough. And yeah, we can wrap up. Last night, Keith Rowley, and I was vexed last night. No, I vexed. Because my phone, I just started forwarding to you all, you know, the tears of the people. I mean, the kind of suffering people suffering in this country, it's not normal.
No, it's not normal. It's normal.
I read about people telling me the story about how the loved one went in the hospital and what they didn't do right or what they did and now they're dead. And when they said she passed away last night, they talk about your mother, your sister, your child. When you have to be continuously reading that, it's not easy. I vexed
If I try to explain that to my audience, the people don't know, right?
Stephan, last night people sending me pictures of inside immigration. And the crowd inside immigration that trying to come into the country, bigger than the crowd going, ooh, ah. And Andre Abraham had fire one going, ooh, ah, just blow them up. How did that benefit Trinidad and Tobago in any way?
Anyway.
How did fireworks last night? We needed, you see the President of the Republic, now when she was giving her speech, I didn't even listen. I just wrote on her thread, Nobody interested in what you have to say. And this is something that we should abolish. This office of the presidency. That
It serves no purpose.
But I want to tell you, when I read back and I see some comments she makes, she asks, how the France did we end up here? Madam President, we ended up here because of your silence. They call your office the highest office in the land. If you are the highest office in the land, Madam President, speak every day.
Yeah, but you never watched the Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Presidents, I mean,
no, but I want to tell her.
to follow the
No, but I want to tell her. I want to say, Your Excellency.
The hand of the king is the real man.
Yeah, the hand of the king, and the king is the prime minister.
The hand of the
Whoever
king.
the prime minister is, the king.
Hand of the king is the boss. The advisor.
Because I want to answer her.
The king does say nothing.
Yeah, and yes, I understand how this thing does work.
I understand how it works, but I want to answer her for the public to hear. If you ask how the France we end up here, Madam President, because you've shirked your responsibility.
She not responsible for that.
If you've seen the degradation, you didn't see it yesterday. It didn't fall on you yesterday and say, wait now, this is what's going on in Trinidad.
I don't think she cares.
You are Marie Antoinette. If you only found out yesterday that people suffering so, you should quit the job.
It's because, let me tell you, it's because just like the politicians, she is detached from the realities of what is taking place in the country.
Let me tell you something. People are so, I don't want to use the word nonchalant, but people are so jaded by what's happening in the country. Listen, I drive yesterday evening from Chaguanas to Port of Spain. It took me about 35 minutes to drive from Chaguanas to Mova. Right? This is our 60th anniversary. If I had tried to do that 7 years ago, at 7:45 in the night, I probably would have been still in Chaguanas. People from the other areas outside of Port of Spain wasn't really interested in what going on in town. That's what I tell you.
I think the crowd.
It's either that or they'll come whole later yesterday in the day.
You see, Stephan, and I want to say, you have a love for people, and I know that. But people have to take their stick too. And when you see the Prime Minister post a picture and he say, blessings, his wife went to visit his daughter who just made a grandchild, and all of them people congratulated. Yeah, congratulations to the parents, congratulations to the grandparents. But I ask Kid Rowley, if you are the Prime Minister of a country that your children do not want to live in, what does that say about you?
Yeah.
That means they do not trust your Minister of National Security to protect them. They do not trust your Commissioner of Police. They do not trust your Minister of Health.
Education.
Your wife happy to be in New York with her daughter. What's her name? Sonel?
Yeah.
Sonel safe. Sonel safer than all of the women who end up in San Fernando General Hospital and didn't make it out alive.
So his wife wasn't here for independence?
No, and the only reason, and I make a joke, I say the only reason you put up that picture for us to see is because you was away for a month getting treatment and you didn't care. No. You only put up that picture now
to answer to the public to say why his wife not here.
Correct. Because we noticed that. And he wanted to make sure that
rumors that, you know.
We wanted to make sure that we didn't right. But joke and fun aside.
Yeah.
Because that's what we get caught up in.
You know the message I take from that?
But I just want to say this. The people that was telling me on the thread when I asked him that, oh gosh, she could live where she wants. Of course. But why isn't Trinidad the place she wants to live?
Especially when your father is
Why your father as Prime Minister didn't have a vision for this country? He's been in Parliament uninterrupted for 32 years.
But Philip,
look at the go Martin West.
Philip, I love you. I love you. Look, I want to say something. I want to say something on camera.
Start with the love you and then
Philip, I want to say something on camera. I want to say something on camera. Yeah, I'm listening to you. And the song, sometimes it has come across, especially independence, sometimes it's come across real bitter. And that is turn off some people. If you want to be the person running this country,
lie to them.
No, I don't want you to lie to them. You could give them that same information differently.
Tell me how.
But no. Song, let me look at some of the positives sometimes, because it has positives. There are positives.
Tonight we will run an extra hour just for Stephen Matheson to give us the positives.
No,
We
it has
need an extra
positives.
hour. We need an extra hour. Go ahead, Stephen.
There are positives. And what I'm saying is,
You see
what I'm saying
we
is,
run an extra hour because Ronnie
what I'm
Market
saying
don't show up
is,
last.
one of the positives is at least have some educated and critical thinking people like yourself, right? Who could see through all the bullshit, right? And Trinidad and Tobago know what you're talking about, you know? They know what you're talking about. Let me start talking about the solutions.
Agreed.
How we could fix Trinidad and Tobago.
Agreed. But I want to tell you this. I spent years of my every night putting my daughter to bed and running downstairs and doing a live video and talking policy. And all I got in return is the PNM teething them policies. Everything that the government is doing now, a lot that the opposition is speaking now, are those policies that are the solutions. If Gary Griffith had put barrels on the highway...
By the way, you get back your barrels yet?
Not yet. Lawyers dealing with
But
it.
you getting it back?
I don't know. But if Gary Griffith had put barrels on the highway to provide a solution to the Debe death strip, the media would have covered it. Yeah, this is Kamal, Eton Georges. Yeah, I'm down in Debe. Yeah, I lie.
They ain't lie.
They block me because they know I'm not on shit. They block me because they know that when I went down there and put up those barrels, you know what's the two messages of those barrels? That there are solutions that Rohan not doing because he said so.
No.
He said it doesn't fit in with the safety plan. What was the safety plan? How much people after dead? Because you're not doing nothing. But it also made a lie of Kamala and her crew saying, well, we're not in government, so we can't do nothing. There's plenty you could do. When you laugh and you say there's a Phillip will fix it. The reason Phillip will fix it has become a thing is because we've stopped accepting that you can't do nothing. You can do a lot of stuff. And where we can do stuff, we're doing it. From the very start, and I promised Stephan, and I understand his position in his show, that we are never going to make this so political that it promotes what we are doing. But when you asked me just now to talk policy and to tell them how to fix it, when you go back and you read Vision 2020 and Vision 2030, when you read every manifesto of the PNM prior to 2020, none of those things that they're trying to do right now are in any of those manifestos or any of those visions. But you know where you find it? www.21policies.com. And that was launched January 18, 2017. And I have gone at length to explain. I have walked every river in Port of Spain, all them concrete river canal. I have walked them to show. I went below Fatima Bridge on Mokorapo Road to show them. Just here is 65 million gallons of water. Just here. Just below the road here, we could save that. Just here. And I want to prove a point that our systems, do you know when I say that there are devices that the water flowing in the river could power the pumps that take the water out of the river and send it to the reservoir and the dump. You said about Holland, you talk about Holland, that the water that run down Frederick Street, Bonds Road, you know, if you know that you give people permission to take off the face of a mountain, you could calculate the volume, cubic capacity of water that will come at certain times.
Yeah, I think that's what they did in Holland to a great extent. They decided to go not against the water, but with it. You know?
But you could also in Trinidad, because when you're driving down St. James, and this morning I did that, when I was driving past St. Mary's Church from Long Circular Mall to come into Western Main Road, I realized that the ships are higher than eye level. We under sea level there. That the ships are higher than eye level. And that you have to know that when the tide is in, you have to have an ability to hold that water. And that the water falling into it generates energy. The Hoover Dam, they built that in the 30s. The technology exists. There is a solution to everything, and you're correct. And Selvon is correct when he comes. And I know that that's what you try to bring out of people. But the voters, when I told people last night, when I said to Keith Rowley, what does it say about you if your family don't want to live in the country you run?
Yeah, I think that's a significant point.
People defend it. And by defending it, cut their own throats. And they don't understand that this is not me hating Keith Rowley. When Keith
It's a valid
Rowley,
point.
When Keith Rowley went at Patrick Manning on social media, I was the person who put Keith Rowley for leader of the PNM. I created that page. I was a strong supporter of the man. When he stand up in the parliament.
I too, if you go back on my Facebook, you'll see me walking for Section 34
in 2007, I voted for Keith Rowley. I couldn't vote for Rocky Garcia and Diego Martin. You can imagine 2 annual in one parliament. I couldn't vote for I couldn't vote for
wrap up.
Anyway.
Well, we had a wrap up.
Close the rum shop. But I just want to say, in closing, because he said it and it's true, that there are real solutions, there are critical thinkers, there are good people, home and abroad, Trinbagonians who want to come here and fix it. And if we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, wanted to fix it, like this gentleman today, they have him marching up and down like a fool, dumping dirt in the street, and nobody told him, just get a lawyer, take the state to court.
File an injunction.
File an injunction. These are the places. This is where we will fix that too.
Yeah.
Close your rum shop, brother.
See, anything to say?
Yeah, I just think today was a good program. We had a gentleman who came and educated the public as to why there was a need for that kind of scavenging. And you know, that to me was important because a lot of people hearing about these scrap iron dealers and they're hearing about the ply, but they don't really understand how it fits into the running of the country, how it fits into the narrative in terms of how it builds Trinidad and Tobago. And I mean, he did that. He showed us a lot as to how we, with our question, and he showed us a lot as to how this thing really supports Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. I want to close by saying, you know, that picture of the Prime Minister's wife, Sharon Rowley, holding a grandchild. Being in New York, while we celebrated 60 years of independence, I want all of you to understand this. That was important for her. What was important for her on the 60th year of independence of the country, where her husband is Prime Minister, with all the tralala that going around with all the old talk, what was important for her was her family, her daughter, her grandchild. She wanted to be there. Fireworks had to take a back seat. All the parade and the celebrations, all the jump up take a back seat.
Good point.
Home first.
Family first.
And I think yours. When people start to understand that it ain't about PNM and UNC, because at the end of the day, you can't go and knock down Balize house door, or which part UNC is now? They're not in UNC complex. No, they move. But wherever they are now, you can't go knocking when you don't have bread or you're unemployed. They don't have all these solutions. They can't solve your problems for you, but they go preach to you. They will preach to you, you know, like they have all the solutions, but they don't. And you know they don't, because every 5 years you learn that the hard way. And we had to start to realize that until we start saying, you see, home first. Home important to me. Me first.
Me and mine.
And if you're not offering me something that puts me first,
next man,
somebody else had to take control of the situation. And with that, I want you to understand, you have to get rid of both of them. You need a majority government. One, for one specific reason.
To change the
constitution.
Indeed.
You have to understand that all your problems
that Eric Williams had at the start.
Yeah, all your problems right now, all the things you just quarrel about. Why this and happen, man? Why nobody can get locked up, and why this and why that? How none of them don't make a jail, and how nobody don't be held accountable, and very transparency. All your problems exist because of the way that the constitution is constructed.
Dysfunctionality.
It's in their favor, not yours.
Correct.
Your constitution is supposed to favor you, not them, because you exercise your power to put them there to manage your affairs. They manage your affairs. They don't rule you. They're not your ruler.
Agreed.
So when Ferguson said the industry that is shut down is part of an economy.
You're not Democrat.
And a revenue,
democratic nation.
And a revenue earner.
If the government can use arbitrary power to rule.
They cannot just cut the throat just like that. It don't work so. They can't just call a press conference and say the Attorney General say we stopping this industry for 6 months and cannot justify it. Stop taking these things and this old talk for what it is. It's just old talk. When Rowan Sinan stand up and say we do 144 projects in January at a cost of $50 million to prepare for the rainy season. But when rain fall, the whole country flood out.
It's a good thing you prepare.
It's a good thing you prepare, but where are the projects? Nothing wrong with a man saying that, eh? But which projects? Tell me where you do. Give us a list of the 144 projects and a breakdown of how much money you spend on each project. Be accountable, and that's what you want. You want people who are going to be accountable for every action that is going to affect you directly. You understand? Because the higher the unemployment rate, crime going to get worse. The more we mismanage the economy, expect to pay more when you go to the grocery. Understand? And the more taxes that Imbood going to tax you, because he had to find the revenue from somewhere, and he void of ideas. And you had to face that reality. So wake up, and understand that orange might be the only way forward. Hey, that's it for the rum shop, tell you. Chase with orange juice.
In the rum shop.
Chase with orange juice.
In the rum shop. In the rum shop. Yeah, guys.
That was a good
We out.
I go drink today. We in the rum shop. Yeah. Yeah. 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 So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk. Yeah. Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk. Yeah.